Howdy, howdy!
Good day to everyone. And everyone, good day.
And welcome to But It Was Aliens, the paranormal comedy podcast where we probe paranormal activity to decide for the questionable benefit of humanity as to whether that activity really was paranormal. My name is Mr Moonalker, and alongside me with no idea what we're covering today is Mr Granville Moonwalker. What are you laughing at?
It's very rare for you to tell the truth at the start of an episode.
All I said, my name is Mr Kevin the John.
No, that's not what you said.
Today we are
Stated
covering...
fact.
You heard what you wanted to hear.
I heard the truth.
Everyone heard what they wanted to hear. Today, we are covering events that took place during 1973 on the Isle of Wight in Hampshire in England. The Isle of Wight is an island off the south coast of the island of Great Britain and is famous for its dinosaur fossils, for allegedly inventing the donut, and for being the most haunted island in the entire world. Until 1970, the Isle was also home to the UK's most advanced rocket testing facility at high dawn. You have nothing to...
High dawn or high down?
High down. You heard what you wanted to hear.
Is the Isle of Wight the most haunted island in the entire world due to the amount of hauntings in such a small space? Like one haunting for every two people on the island? Or does it have more hauntings on that island than any other island in the world?
So
Let's say,
supposedly
for example,
any other island
it
of
has
any size.
5,000 and Japan has 4,999, or is it has 300 per person?
Yeah, I didn't want to get into this, but I do have a slight problem with that statement because the UK itself is an island. To be fair, if you really think about it, isn't every country an island pretty much?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there are more... And I'm not saying the UK is the most haunted island in the world, but I'm sure we've come across more hauntings in the UK than we have the Isle of Wight specifically. But let's not get technical. We begin this probe in 1973, not long after that rocket station closure, as far as public record states, around the area of Lake Common in Sandown, which is a southern seaside town on the Isle of Wight. Two little people by the names of Faye, or Faye with an E in some accounts, but the original source is Faye with an A, that's F-A-Y. Faye and unknown, let's call him Roger, were having a play near the river at about 4 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon. As the children played, they begun to notice a wailing sound in the distance. The wailing was almost like an ambulance siren, and whilst you or I may think in this situation, F that and head away from a potentially dangerous situation, these children were stupid. 7-year-old Faye and Roger headed towards the wailing. As the children crossed a golf course and got nearer to the wailing, they begun to notice a shape standing in a swampy area, almost like a hut. The hut appeared to have 2 stories and appeared to be the origin of the wailing sound. The children continued to approach.
At this point, I will call the children stupid. Hearing a wailing sound, thinking it's an ambulance and heading towards it, I just class that as inquisitive. They're curious, like it's if
But can being curious be stupid?
To an extent.
If you get murked because of it.
Would all depend on if they saw an ambulance or a fire engine or anything like that.
So basically...
And put themselves in trouble or just watched from a distance.
They're approaching.
Then at the moment they are not stupid. until they saw the hut, and then the sounds are coming out, and then they carried on approaching. Stupid.
They crossed the threshold into stupid.
Yep.
As I'm going back over this, and it's been a while since I researched this one, it's feeling a little bit Hansel and Gretel to me.
So it is.
A witch is going to pop out like,
Want some sweeties?
I'm going to eat you. You offered me some sweeties before we started this episode. Oh, shit.
And you took the sweeties.
I did take the sweeties, without question. I took 2, in fact, because they were stuck together.
For a reason.
They tasted so sweet. If that's what it tastes like, sign me up. When the kids...
Almost milky in nature.
When the kids got to a wooden footbridge by the swamp and the now clearly metallic hut-typed structure, suddenly, out from under the bridge popped a blue-gloved hand, followed by the figure of a 7-foot-tall... Well, this thing was dressed like a clown. It wore a green tunic a la Link, along with a yellow hat and white trousers. This creature was human-like in terms of proportions and had a perfectly sphere-shaped headed... But the head seemed too big for the body. The entity had white skin that seemed almost like paper, and the 2-meter creature had a face that seemed to be painted on. As I say, this thing looked like a clown, possibly crossed with a robot and an alien. There were triangular eyes, a brown square nose, and yellow lips. The creature didn't appear to have a neck. The clown was holding a book and dropped it into the water before bumbling around to grab it, which is quite clown-like. The clown then disappeared, but a few minutes later reappeared. This time, the clown was holding a black bobble microphone-like structure connected to a white cord. The wailing was back and Roger went to run, but then the clown, looking almost alarmed to have shocked Roger, pulled the bobble towards his mouth and looked as though it was about to talk. As the clown did, the wailing stopped.
Hello, Georgie.
Yeah, definite Pennywise vibes now.
Hi, Georgie. I have a question.
Yes?
Perfectly sphere-shaped head.
Well, I was going to go on to say headed thing, but then... Yeah.
Just threw me off.
I knew what I was doing.
Or did you?
Got to keep you on your toes.
Or did I hear what I wanted to hear?
You did hear what you wanted to hear.
So we've got Pennywise.
We've got Pennywise.
Is this the origins of Pennywise?
Well, technically Pennywise is a god, so... Possibly?
Or is this the origins of...
The inspiration for Pennywise?
Yeah, Pennywise on Earth.
Yeah, I don't want to get into Stephen King's backstory. Quite frankly.
So, we've got a performer.
Are you asking me if this clown bopped Stephen King? Clearly I do want to get into his backstory.
Quite similar to Lucas and Indy.
Oh no. Sorry, you were going to ask something or suggest something?
We have a performative clown here.
I guess we do, yeah. Doesn't seem to want to alarm the children.
Did it say that the wailing stopped when he put the microphone to his mouth?
Yes.
Is there a button on the microphone?
We don't know at this point.
So it wails until the point it's about to be used. Or...
So I don't think I put this in the research notes. I could have, because this was a while ago for me, as I say, but what came to mind to me here, you know, in a walkie-talkie, old school ones you might have had when you were little. There's like static background. You hold the button to speak, then you let go and the static comes back and then you hear the voice on the other side.
I wonder if that's what I was about to say, like when you're pressing the button and it stops. So maybe there could be another clown somewhere or thing.
There is another.
And you have a picture of the clown here.
I have provided you with a mock-up of the clown. Kind of a mixture of Pennywise and a TeleTubby.
It just looks like a scarecrow and a TeleTubby. I wouldn't say any Pennywise in there at all.
There's definite Pennywise vibes somewhere.
It's got 3 feet like a troll. 3 feet, 3 toes. Maybe really, it's 3 foot tall.
His right arm is really bendy.
He's got no elbow.
Just folds completely around. Definite TeleTubby TV aerial on his head vibes, as we say.
What's that microphone plugged into?
Sound system? Karaoke biatch?
So in the mock-up, podcasting clown.
Yeah, basically. In the mock-up, there's a wire from the microphone-like device going to a small structure that looks like it's got between 1 and 4 buttons. 1 very clear button and 3 slots that could be sliders, could be buttons. Hard to say.
I was about to say, the top one could be a dial.
Yeah. Well, let's find out, shall we? The clown spoke into its microphone and it turns out the sound that came out was perfect English. The clown, a little distance away, spoke as if directly into the children's ears as they said, "Hello, are you still there?" The children approached and noticed that the clown also had antennae and a smidge of red hair falling onto the forehead. The clown seemed a bit shy but otherwise friendly and introduced himself by writing into a notebook, "Hello, and I am All Colours Sam." Yes.
That's an anagram for something.
The clown's name was All Colours Sam. The way that's written does make me think maybe this isn't bullshit. It's so weird and suggests a slight, very slight misuse of the English language. Sam invited the children into his metallic hut. There, the children watched Sam eat some berries. Sam would put the berries in his ear and they'd then come out of his eye and into his mouth. Imagine going out to dinner with this guy. The hut had mainly wooden furniture and an electric heater. The clown also later spoke without the microphone and still spoke in English, however the voice was somewhat unclear as the clown's lips didn't move much. In total, the 3 chatted for about 30 minutes, but not a lot of useful details were really established from the discussion. The children were mainly just observing in awe of this peculiar creature. They asked Sam why his clothes were ripped, and Sam said it's all he owned.
Not a very good host, this All Colours Sam.
He's like, watch me eat.
Yeah. Come on in. Now I'm going to eat.
You can watch me and not have any. Shoves it in his ear, comes out of his eye.
Maybe he offered them the berries afterwards.
It sounds a little bit like this is a chap called Sam who's fallen upon hard times, no longer has a home, has absolutely ruined his body in various ways.
And has a Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yeah.
All Colours Sam.
This is what happened to Joseph when he was replaced by a celebrity. Children stupid or...
Yep. Very much so.
There's no coming back from the stupid threshold.
They hit it and then they just went deeper and deeper. Going into his metallic hut.
With a guy, for all intents and purposes, with ripped clothes.
Yeah. I've really got nothing else to say. There's nothing that really stands out other than what we've been over so far.
Well, let's see if we can get anything to stand out moving forward. As the discussion moved on, the children asked Sam if he was really a man. Sam said, "No." The children asked Sam if he was a ghost, and Sam said,
Well, not really, but I am in an odd sort of way.
What? Sam both wasn't and was a ghost. What does that mean? The children asked Sam what he was, and Sam replied, stating,
You know.
Do we know? Sam also implied that he was part of a species and that he didn't actually have a name, so I'm not sure why he introduced himself as All Colours Sam, but there you have it. I'm just sharing the details. As I said earlier, this is so nonsensical that it's almost difficult to imagine it not having some element of truth to it. Sam also said that he was scared of humans and that if he was hit, he wouldn't strike back. The children chose not to test this statement. After the 30-minute chat was up, Faye and Roger returned to their parents, and 3 weeks later, the children explained all that they'd seen. The children did allegedly tell the first person they saw on their way home that they'd seen a ghost, but this person didn't believe them, so that may have influenced the children to keep quiet for a while. They broke eventually.
Technically, they didn't see a ghost.
Well, they did and didn't.
So, they didn't, but they told someone they did. So, I can understand that person not believing them. But also, someone tells me they see a ghost, I'm likely to believe.
Without question.
Depending on the story.
Are you? Because I've told you about ghosts many times, and...
You don't believe in ghosts yourself, so...
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you can't. You're your own person.
If you're telling me about it, I don't believe it.
Boy who cried wolf, one day I'll really see one. You won't have any of it. I'm going to probe myself one day. Our handsome witness, Kevin, he'll be like, bullshit.
Where did he get the name All Colours Sam from?
I would absolutely love to be able to tell you. I've got no idea. That's so very random. And even if a child was bullshitting, that's such a weird thing to come up with.
I suppose depends on what they saw. Like if, let's say for example, people around this time are wearing 1 or 2 tone colours. Like everything's either brown trousers, brown top, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they see a Technicolor Dreamcoat. They're going to go all colours.
Rainbow would probably come to mind.
Have they ever seen a rainbow?
Well, why would these children not have seen colours?
Yeah, but they might not know what a rainbow is. So for them, they might have called a rainbow an all-colour bridge.
They're nearly 10.
Doesn't mean they're not bullshitters.
It's just
I don't know where that came from.
Made me go completely off topic. My partner's niece used to have an imaginary friend, and its name was Scraper.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah. I think it may have had quite a freaky voice as well, but I can't quite remember. Scraper did it. Nails down the window.
Did he? Why do you have the chef knife? Scraper wants it. I would be mortified.
The British UFO Research Association, aka BUFORA, who, to remind ourselves, were founded in 1964 to scientifically investigate UFO activity, were quick on the scene to investigate the witnesses, primarily Mr. Y, who was Faye's daddy. By quick, I mean sometime later. Mr. Y had checked in on Roger after hearing the story and also noted that Faye became quite upset when Mr. Y suggested she wasn't telling the truth, which convinced Daddy, and with that, Daddy contacted BUFORA. Mr. Y did also wonder whether it was a shared hallucination or whether the children saw a legit man dressed up, but the fact that Sam had 3 fingers and 3 toes made it too difficult to fake, according to Mr. Y. 3 years earlier, on another Tuesday, this time the 20th of October 1970, Mr. Y had himself seen a silent UFO flying low along the River Yar, as had Mr. Y's friend. So perhaps Mr. Y was more of a believer than your average prober, leading him to be more easily convinced. Even more so because 2 years later, on the 1st of March 1972, Mr. Y had again seen strange lights, aka a UFO, near the cliffside at Compton Bay. Mr. Y, a diligent prober, went to the location Faye had seen Sam the Clown but couldn't find no hut. So Mr. Y decided that Faye had been taken into a bubble of alien reality. Mr. Y shared his experiences and Faye's contact with BUFORA. The children maintained this story into adulthood, and so eventually the events were logged in the archives of BUFORA from January-February Volume 6, Number 5 of 1978 from page 10 for those curious, and we'll include a link in the episode notes. BUFORA is the source of this event.
The children maintain this story into adulthood.
Yes.
But one of the children said that one of the other children was lying. So are they maintaining the fact that it happened, one saying it happened and one saying it's a lie? Or are they both saying it happened?
How are you doing today?
Hearing what I want to hear, apparently.
I think you are. I didn't say anything about lying.
So am I blind as well?
Mr. Y suggested she wasn't telling the truth.
No, Mr. Y. It seems Mr. Y decided that because one child said that his daughter was a liar, that his daughter was telling the truth.
Right.
So one of the kids said the other was a liar. Right?
No.
Okay, all colours, Sam. Why don't you continue?
There was no lie, sir. They maintained it into adulthood. I'm telling you.
How trustworthy is BUFORA?
They're very serious.
They're serious, but how trustworthy are they?
Do you trust anyone in this world?
I trust very few.
You'd probably have them on your trust list.
Fair enough. Would you?
What, trust them?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I withhold the right
trust you,
to
so
change my
wouldn't have
answer
them.
based on the outcome of their investigation into this case.
If you trust them, I don't.
I don't trust them.
Have you got lost?
Yeah, a little bit. Mr. Y checked in on Roger. I was going back over my notes. Because Mr. Y checked in on Roger. Faye got upset when Mr. Y suggested Faye was lying, which convinced him that it was true. I'm just going back over to see where Roger was involved.
Oh, fair enough.
You're hearing what you want to hear.
So one of them was lying, yeah?
I feel like I'm gaslit you into hearing what you want to hear. It's been theorised that the Sandown Clown may himself have been a MIB. This suggestion came from the Curious Archive, who don't necessarily fully believe this themselves, but identified that the clown is similar to the MIB in the September the 11th, 1976 incident, who visited Dr. Herbert Hopkins in Maine. You may recall from our episode 100, Here Come the Men in Black, that Dr. Hopkins was himself investigating a UFO incident when he was visited by a chap with smooth, white, plastic-esque skin, almost like a doll's, no eyebrows, reddish lips, and a monotone voice who spoke through a sequence of words rather than traditional sentence structure. The mouth was a straight slit that didn't really move. The red lips were applied as a decoy to cover this non-human mouth. Is this our guy? All Colours Sam, the Sandown Clown. We covered that on the 6th of January 2022, so I expect you recall it well. The Mib told Hopkins how many pennies Hopkins had in his pocket, then made one of them disappear before saying famous abductee Barney Hill's heart went the same way as the penny and asked Hopkins to delete his UFO evidence. Most of what was discussed between Faye, Roger and Sam remains unknown, so it's possible that this clown could have been probing for details about Faye's dad, Mr. Y's sightings. Maybe alien creatures and humans are working together and were based together at that secret rocket base at High Down, not too dissimilar to your probe on Mariner Hansen in episode 242, Mr Moonalker, whereby Mariner's description of a military base with aliens and the military working closely together was so accurate that the military were convinced Mariner's visited the base. That is the most awkward to pronounce name. Nyrna. Mariner? Mariner.
So they maintain the story until adulthood.
You could say that. Yes.
I didn't hear a thing you said through that last bit.
Basically, was the clown a Mib probing the children to find out about the dad who'd had sightings earlier?
No. All Colour Sam was a Technicolor Dreamcoat wearer.
Doesn't mean he wasn't a Mib. Just wasn't wearing black.
Did we actually go over the Mibs telling Hopkins how many pennies he had in his pocket?
In that episode we did, yes.
I don't remember that at all.
I actually do.
I suppose we've covered so many.
It was a threat, wasn't it?
Barney Hill's heart went the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you all know Barney Hill was bullshitting, so...
One of the most well-respected, famous UFO encounters in history. Doesn't matter what we concluded. We'll go back and listen, and you said that one was real.
I didn't.
It was your episode.
Doesn't mean a thing.
Well, we know what happened to Betty's dress.
I also realise I'm stroking my beard
You
like
are
an evil
stroking
genius.
your beard.
I don't think he is an MIB, but I don't know. I don't know what to say right now that isn't going to sound like I'm concluding the episode.
Okay, well...
So I'm not going to say anything.
Let's move on, because...
All I'm going to say is they maintain that story until adulthood.
It's time to ask, what was All Colours Sam, if not a Mib? Perhaps All Colours Sam was an interdimensional or otherwise alien being. This could explain why Sam said he wasn't a ghost but also was in an odd sort of way. Maybe Sam, moved on another plane, struggled to interact with our own. Maybe Sam had advanced technology that hid his hut, and this would also explain Sam's weird appearance. The hut did sound a bit slapped together, so on reflection I'm not sure that was a craft itself, but was rather slapped together. On the note of other planes, was Sam a ghost? BUFORA theorised that Sam was a ghost or alien, of course, and this is mainly because Faye and Roger believed that Sam was a ghost, despite his weird answer when asked if he was. Maybe we misunderstand ghosts and they just walk another plane. That's what the afterlife is, rather than death.
Planeswalkers.
If not ghost, was Sam a demon? Sam wanted the kids in that hut. Was this some kind of way to capture souls? Or did Sam fill Faye and Roger's head with evil to later cause havoc and misery in the world? We don't really know much of what Sam discussed with the children. Sam was elusive when answering what he was. Why would a good-natured creature be elusive to such a simple question? Or Was the Sandown Clown a fairy? Fairies are not quite Tinkerbell when you dig into them, but may have originated as pagan deities and were often cruel. If it was a fairy, it's unlikely the children would ever have been seen again, because fairies are vicious bastards responsible for theft, kidnap, and murder.
Murder. I'm still waiting for the point that you tell me that the name All Colours Sam is an anagram of something else. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm trying to figure it out every time I see All Colours Sam.
It's not. It's just his name.
Yeah, you tell me that, but...
His first name is All. His middle name is Colours. Surname is Sam.
Yeah, I suppose we don't know what they talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Although they probably spent most of the time just watching him eat. What if those berries that he ate were other children? He turned children into berries. I don't know what I'm going here. There's no
I'm back to Hansel and Gretel at this point.
Evidence of that whatsoever. There's no evidence of any of this.
Well, we've got witness accounts. That is evidence. I'm not saying it's good evidence. I'm just saying it's evidence. It was investigated by professional bodies that you trust.
It was investigated by bodies. And again, I suppose they could have asked if he's a ghost, which technically you could be, but still be living, in terms of how you interpret that question. Are you a ghost of your former self? Are you a ghost to those that knew you before? Like, if people think you're dead when you're actually alive, you are technically a ghost.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
So took the question figuratively rather than literally.
He might have literally just answered it to throw them off or whatnot.
Yeah, okay.
Fair enough.
Looking to the less paranormal, how could we explain this one in an earthly manner? First up, Tingle. Stick with me. Tingle from the Legend of Zelda series is a human in a fairy costume obsessed with being a fairy. Was this a human in a costume? A literal clown, perhaps? Or someone who had shunned conventional society? Someone who wanted a different life?
So, Greybeard has put a provocative picture of Tingle in the show notes. Very provocative. Not just one. Not just one. I would hate to know what you had to search to get these pictures. Let's just say there would be some questions asked about Greybeard's search history.
It's quite the tingle, I think you'll agree.
I don't even know if I want to describe these pictures.
You see something new every time you look at them.
I suppose I'm going to have to, because you can't post them.
I absolutely can't post these pictures, no.
So, one of them is Tingle with a rose in his mouth, with nipple chains attached to Ganondorf's nipples whilst he is riding Ganondorf's piece. With dildos and hooks hanging in the background. Also snacks. The second one is...
It's this one that gets me.
Oh. Ganondorf is holding Tink up to his face like a ventriloquist puppet. Except he's using one finger and not his whole hand. Whilst Tingle's piece is also in Ganondorf's mouth.
I'm glad I could bring some joy to your day, sir.
Hence, I don't want to know what you had to search to get these.
On our joint account.
That I never use. The Kev account.
On the creepier side, and we won't get...
And that's not creepy.
We won't get too deep on this one. We have a creepy guy in an isolated forest trying to get children into his hut. Was this a failed kidnap attempt? Maybe the children refused food or drink, which prevented anything untoward. Or maybe this was a case of a chap with some mental health difficulty or substance usage. Finally, was this case a hoax, otherwise known as a big stinky lie? Either the kids could have lied, Mr. Y could have lied, or someone made up this thing entirely to get it in the BUFORA journal. There isn't much out there on this one that can't be traced back to that BUFORA article, though the Sandown Clown does have a niche following despite this and is part of the folklore on the Isle of Wight. That is the case. If you want to go back and look at those pictures again, you can.
No, I really
if
don't.
If you want to print out, I do have one for you.
Is it going to go up on this wall here?
It's going to go on your wall.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Going to get that spare key that the gardener uses. Feel like you've got distracted by something.
Trying to unravel this case.
You're just thinking of Tingle, aren't you?
No.
You are. I can see it in your eye.
You're just hearing what you want to hear.
Tingle.
So, again, everything I've got is more of a summary.
Well,
I don't have any questions or
Okay, well, I'm about to
anything that I
summarise.
want to add.
I mean, it is pretty conclusive, so I can appreciate that. In summary, we've covered the 1973 sighting of the Sandown Clown around Lake Common on England's Isle of Wight. 7-year-olds Faye and unnamed boy we called Roger were playing when they heard a wailing sound. The kids headed towards the wailing to discover a space hut occupied by a clown creature called All Colours Sam. The creature communicated with the children mainly through a microphone, explaining that he wasn't a man and wasn't a ghost, but was in a weird sort of way. After a half-hour chat, the children left and told their family about the events. Faye's dad and Mib, Mr. Y, investigated himself and, having had his own experiences a few years prior, believed. So Mr. Y contacted BUFORA. BUFORA documented the case, and they are the original and only nearly direct source. Everyone else has basically taken the story from BUFORA, including us. We theorised as to whether All Colours Sam was an alien, a ghost, a demon, a fairy, a dressed up human, or a big stinky lie. You can actually buy your own All Colours Sam the Sandown Clown off Etsy at the time I researched this one for about £15 English, and I'll pop the link in the show notes because it's kind of cool. That is the probe.
I'm kind of surprised that there isn't an All Colours Sam sitting up there, or you've left a box there for me to open at some point. There's an All Colours fucking salmon.
Beside a Tingle. So you just want to summarise, do you?
Yeah.
Alright, are you saying that it was aliens?
No.
Whoa! You didn't... Where's the build-up?
It's here. I don't believe that BUFORA created this story.
Right. So you think they investigated something real?
I believe that BUFORA created this bullshit.
Oh,
It's not
you
a
think
story.
BUFORA made it up?
It's bullshit.
Okay.
So BUFORA were like, oh, let's put a story out, blah, 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 blah. This is not a story. This is bullshit. Because I think with Mr. Y being as into aliens and whatever as he was, he'd have a name, not just Mr. Y.
Yeah.
And the fact that they've tried to keep names of as many people as possible incognito, apart from Faye, makes no sense. I could understand if Mr. Y wanted to keep his daughter or
Anonymous, yeah.
the other kid anonymous, but he could use his own name in that and say that
But he's
this
gone
is
the other way.
yeah. He's kept himself anonymous but named his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I think BUFORA made this bullshit story up to add to the investigations that they've done to make themselves seem more legit than they actually are.
Okay, well, it is one of those weird ones. So very weird that you have to stop and wonder if someone could even make it up.
Yes, they could.
They could, admittedly, but did they?
Yes.
In my view, I think Mr. Y made this one up. But it's so weird that surely nobody could have made this one up. The way Sam spoke was too unusual, just enough to convince me, though obviously it didn't. Bullshit. I am not saying that it was aliens. I think, Mr. Y wanted to get into the BUFORA journal.
Oh, so you think Mr. Y
made it up?
Made it up.
Yeah, I think so. Do you have any final thoughts, Mr. Moonwalker?
You're wrong. I'm right. You love Tingle? Both?
Well, I'd argue that you looked at those pictures more closely than myself.
Clearly not.
You described them in great detail. I didn't.
Yeah.
That is a wrap for today.
I can't argue that.
Thank you for listening to But It Was Aliens. If you enjoy what we do and want to hear some more while supporting the show, you can become a patron of the show over at patreon.com/But It Was Aliens. There, each month, we release bonus episodes we call Side Probes. As a thank you for supporting us, you can gain access to these episodes for quite literally less than a cup of a coffee. You can share episodes. Whenever I say coffee, I think Combo Breaker from Killer Instinct. It just starts coming out sometimes. Exactly that. You can share episode suggestions with us on the Twitter at But It Was Aliens. You could also say hello on Facebook, where connected to But It Was Aliens is a secretly public private group called Extraterrestrial Towers.
Extraterrestrial Towers.
Being a member of Extraterrestrial Towers grants you protection from the aliens when they invade. We've recently added monthly clown shows in the towers. Just make your way into the sex hut and all will be well. It's just the hut's name. Nothing happens in there, except the clown show, obviously. That is it for this episode, so until next time, if you like it, should you put a ring on it or destroy it so that nobody else can have it? The truth is up there. Hashtag
You've enjoyed searching these pictures far too much, haven't you?
I don't know what you mean.